bring in political and cultural commentator Jadan Horyn. He joins us from Miami. Jadan, perhaps we can begin by you explaining the significance of the New Hampshire primary for our international audience.
Yeah, New Hampshire has always been, well, at least for the last 100 years, truly the first in the nation primary. And the reason it is first in the nation is because the electorate in New Hampshire is notoriously independent, or infamously independent. In 2020, New Hampshire on the Democratic side chose two progressives, totaling almost 50% of the vote, over now current President Joe Biden. That is why the Democratic primary in New Hampshire is, like Donald Trump, a victim of Biden political payback. It has been punished because it chose different candidates. And that's because its electorate, the Democratic electorate on the Democratic side, chose different candidates. On the Republican side, in modern history, no Republican candidate has won both Iowa and New Hampshire back to back. That will be broken, most likely tonight, by former President Donald Trump. That is significant. The real question tonight for the voters of New Hampshire is not whether Donald Trump will win, but the percentage by which Donald Trump will win.
All right, so let's say Nikki Haley loses and Donald Trump wins. It sounds like her campaign says they're going to keep going, and this is not the end of the road for her. But how much of a setback would it be for her?
Look, all elections are about optics. As someone that traffics in communication, I can tell you that you need to project confidence. But the fact of the matter is the former governor of South Carolina is not going to go to their own state and lose in a landslide. It's just not going to happen. So the real question is how well she does tonight and how that sets her up, either in the Veep stakes, chosen for a potential shortlist for vice president under the new Trump ticket, or how it sets her up more likely in 2028 when the party moves beyond former President Trump, likely then again President Trump, and looks to the future. She is a candidate for the future. So that is really what tonight is all about. So of course she has to project confidence. And I would expect nothing less from someone who has consistently projected confidence, both as governor and then at the UN.
Jadan, a lot of questions about whether Trump can at this point really be stopped. I mean, he's got so many legal troubles, 4 separate indictments, 91 felony charges, and it seems like all of that has only helped embolden him and his base. Explain that one.
Yeah, I really think it's one of those things where you have to ask yourself, the more that you attack someone, the more you make them a martyr. And in this case, in politics, you really truly never want to make the other person a martyr for their cause. And Democrats, I strongly believe, have overplayed their hand here. They really thought that Republicans would somehow divorce themselves from Donald Trump if all of these cases went forward. But the fact of the matter is, it's not just the Republican and Republican base. Even independents based on polling are saying, you know what, we're reevaluating the Trump years. We have Jamie Dimon saying we're reevaluating the Trump years. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to give him another shot because the 4 years, now almost 4 years under President Biden, have been something that many Americans are not happy with.
But how do you explain that to people outside of this country? Any other person facing so many problems, legal troubles, indictments, felony counts, criminal cases, federal cases, civil cases, they wouldn't have a chance. And yet Donald Trump is forging ahead, and for his base, none of it matters.
Yeah, I think there are actually internationally far more examples than there are here in the United States of elected leaders under indictment or in jail, then going on to elected office again. I think most famously, we have the former President Lula of Brazil, who was actually in prison and won not re-election, but won after now his predecessor, Bolsonaro, lost against him. And the Supreme Court of Brazil had vacated a ruling that he had committed criminal acts. And now he is the current president of Brazil. So I think, internationally speaking, it's actually far more likely that it occurs. It is very uncommon, obviously, in the United States. And I think it just goes to show that the U.S. electorate may be more forgiving or maybe more like our international peers in this case, of not really believing hyperbole and necessarily the legal experts.
All right, we'll leave it there. Jadan Horyn, thank you.